make yourself remember. Darling, don't look for me, I'm just a story you've been told. So let's pretend a little longer, 'cause when we're gone, everything goes on. You were staring at the window, and I said, I wanna take you to the sea. And when I'm better, we'll do everything. I gotta stop making promises I can't keep. But if I was gone tomorrow, won't the waves crash on? Is it selfish that I'm happy as we pass the setting sun? Someday I'll be overcast, but you won't have to cry, 'cause we'll do the grieving while I'm by your side. I said, don't try to make yourself remember. Darling, don't look for me, I'm just a story you've been told. So let's pretend a little longer, 'cause when we're gone, everything goes on. And I'm so scared of getting used to this. All the vines that keep you tethered in your room. Well, someday both of us are leaving here, but for now I'll just bring the sea to you. Oh, will you meet me in the daylight like we did before? Then I felt you on my shoulder, and you weren't suffering anymore. You said, I'm sorry that you worried, but don't apologize. I told you to forget me, but you stayed by my side when I said, don't try to make yourself remember. Darling, don't look for me, I'm just a story you've been told. So let's pretend a little longer, and when we're gone, everything goes on.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another stream of matches. I believe it was a little bit of an hour ago. We had our last matches. It was very interesting as well. I did not watch them, but perhaps we can get a little recap later. Jordy, welcome.
Greetings, greetings. I mean, I did not watch it either, but I played in it in the
Mm.
last game, so there's that.
Oh, very well. We'll have a talk a little bit. We'll talk about that as well then in a bit. Would you like to introduce yourself to whoever doesn't know you yet?
So, my name is Jordy, or like Shorty23 in League of Legends, and I'm the top lane of Assassins and Greed. And for me, it's like the very first SLE ever. I mean, I've played in two like Manta Cups and stuff, and I'm also part of the Sanctuary community. But regarding SLE, it's my first.
Very cool. Well, I can already see you have some fans in the chat. So it's nice that you bring some company with you. Um, so tell me a little bit about Assassins and Greed, because I haven't really seen you guys play yet. I don't really know the team. I'm like actually interested in some new, fresh faces.
So basically, the team is like very new. We founded in like January, and I mean we have some players that already played in SLE, like the AD carry I won't leash and mid laner Trouble Bubble. Did if I recall correctly, play in season 4. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, like it's funny because like we're basically a bunch of random dudes who got put onto a team. Um, and then it kind of clicked. So I've been having a wonderful time, and we had also have some success. But I did not predict this because like the SLE, if it comes to Linus power rankings,
Hmm.
most of the time like the familiar faces are at the top, especially if it come when it comes to like the first power ranking.
Yeah.
For some reason we got placed fourth, so
Oh.
we basically like got placed even higher than like our fellow sanctuary teams like Snackpack or even Wacky
Hmm. Hmm.
Wraiths, which I did not really expect, but well, we take it.
Yeah. No, I understand. You guys already have some history, so perhaps he's also trying to hype you guys up into something nice. And I mean, I've taken a quick look at your guys' logo. It looks very nice, very how do you say detailed? So that's already a plus.
So
I
like
like teams with nice logos.
one person made like a tier list of the logos, and
Hmm.
basically every logo got flamed. So, but in our case, it was in the category of made by a 15-year-old. So yeah, we take it.
Really? Oh, I thought you guys were
I
in
mean,
the AI generated one, but I'm not sure.
I think there was a different one. I think there were two tier lists, and one of them was like with the AI ones, sure, but okay, I
Uh-huh.
can look it up if you want. But
Nah, that's all right.
in,
That's
in
all
this
right.
in this first tier list, I'll take it because there was also a category made by a 10-year-old, so
Fair
it's better
enough.
than a 10-year-old.
Yeah, I'm not sure how the drawing skills of a 10-year-old compare to a 15-year-old because I was only drawing circles at that time, so I'm not really too sure.
To be
Um,
fair, it was the only time of my life where I actually did draw. Since then, it's been going downhill.
wow, you were a little bit of an artist, I suppose.
Not anymore.
That's all right because you have found your true passion in League of Legends, same
For
as me
sure, I
actually.
did.
So
Very
that's
nice
that's
to
where
hear
we
that.
bond over here, right? Our true passion for League of Legends. That's where we get all these viewers from as well, because they're very interested in League of Legends and also in the upcoming match. That's Shaka Bantu versus SlimOdds. So let's talk about that for a bit.
In this case, because like it's my first, right?
Mhm.
I do not know most of the teams. I've obviously looked up the rosters. Like I'm a this kind of a person that always looks up the enemies and gathers as much information as possible, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
But I don't know them. I can only look at stats and like stuff like the OP.GGs, and you
Yep.
don't get a lot of information from that. So that's your turn. Tell me about the players. Tell me about the teams or the players you already know, and tell me where the big question marks are.
All right, so we got Shaka Bantu. It's a new team name. I haven't really seen that one before. I looked it up a little bit. It's they have some African roots, and I think they're like warriors. So I think that's a very interesting backstory of because I feel like every team name has a bit of a backstory, right? Why did you choose this and this? And I'm interested to see if they are the warriors of this SLE split. So far, I know a couple guys. I believe it's Mitchy Darko on the top lane. We got McLaren's as support as well. Then the rest of the team, I'm not too sure about, but they go way back. So I think they go back to like split 2 or 3, where they were playing in CCG.
Curtain Call
Which,
Gaming.
yes, exactly. Which are a very
Wait,
very old, like way back org.
I actually do know that team, or like one of their teams.
Uh-huh.
They have many because I played against the team in the third Manta Cup.
Oh, well, that's
But
interesting.
yeah, that's about it.
They had many teams at the time, so they actually, which is why also why I know them a little bit. And then SlimOdds played last split. So most of their players are I think they're just veterans. They're like returners. They didn't end too high, but they did have some interesting games here and there. Especially we were usually looking at the top lane with some interesting matchups. But this time around, he's actually subbed out for another player because they had some troubles in Paradise. So the SlimOdds is actually going to be playing with a top lane emergency sub. So that's going to add like an extra little surprise factor as well. We'll have to see if that's a strength or maybe it's going to be a bit harder for them because they don't usually practice with that person, right?
I mean, if I look at like their roster, I feel like in the case of Shaka Bantu, they have it feels as if they have like a big difference in their players. They seem really like top centric. For sure, like McLaren is also seems like a really strong player. The one thing I like more about SlimOdds is they don't have like that big of a difference in their team, especially their top side, middle jungle, and like the top laner who is sadly not here today,
Mm-hmm.
are basically equal in this like elo ranking we saw in the um, document. But still, if a team is very good at playing around their strengths, it sure can be a big advantage also for Shaka Bantu. One
Yeah, I think.
question for
Yeah,
you specifically:
hit me.
who do you think will win and how? Or do we see like a 1-1?
Well, I've seen Mitchie has been putting a lot of practice on champions that are not GP. So I think that's already a big strength, right? Took a quick gander and I see about 700 games of practice this season. Now some might say that's a lot, right? But you got to put it in perspective, right? Um, and the
I mean,
perspective I'm looking at right now is that we're gonna go into the draft. So I'm expecting certain bands coming out, right? We had the Karma B1 is a not a favorite, but it's a very common one I've seen so far. Smaller Flex is also a big one, but for now they're gonna go with the Belfast band from the side of SlimOdds.
from the side of SlimOdds, I mean, it's interesting. It's
Yeah,
like the jungler of Shaka Bantu is like Surgitive, right? Um, and
correct. Yeah.
I mean, he does have some both games, but still, feels like all right. Okay, there's the second. Kazik is his most played champion. It does make sense to
Mm-hmm.
take him out. We'll have to see. So feels like the jungler of Shaka Bantu is playing like carry-oriented style, which is interesting because we also have a lot of things like the whole Irons and Sejuanis and stuff where people just have like dog jungler, right?
Mm-hmm.
who's just following the team and making sure the lanes are fine. Not in this case though.
No, correct. And they are trying to ban out the jungler a little bit here, and they're having a return ban because usually when draft is kind of like this. If you see problem champions on the opponent side, that form a problem for whatever you want to play, you usually want to ban those away. So it's also a little mind game that it can give away what you would like to play. So what Shaka Bantu does here is they ban the Viego because they see a lot of jungle bans coming out. They're like, hey, maybe Belva and the Kha'Zix are good into Viego, so they respond with a jungle ban of their own.
Then, on the other hand, which is also the case, Willie Sang is basically a Viego OTP, I think. So it makes sense, like for two different reasons, right?
Exactly.
The Wei ban, I'm actually really sad about it because like I love seeing Wei in official games. It's such a fun champion.
Yep. Wei for sure has like a very big toolkit that I think is always interesting to look at. Right now they're gonna go for the Azir first pick though. I haven't seen that one in a while. I think they're very confident in that.
I mean, it's a classic, right? The Azir pretty early in the game. If you have a good Azir player, he can basically play Azir in every matchup, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's always a stable. Azir in late game with like 3 or 4 items is killing machine. So I think it's fine. I don't think there can be like there are like big punishes on the other side. So we'll have to see. Talia. Is it jungle or is it mid? What do you think?
It could be a flex, right? Because you did show the Azir pretty early on. So it could just be, hey, I see the Azir, I go to Talia, prevent any dashes. It's also a fairly decent long-ranged option, which I feel like is something Azir might struggle into. But it could still indeed be a flex, which is a nice nice pick. Trying to look right now. Ooh, is it going towards just scouting the OPGs a little bit here?
I would assume it's a mid lane Talia. I think it makes sense, right? The enemy
so as
already
well,
showed
yeah.
their mid lane pick, so if it's like confidence, if they're confident on Talia, I think they're just gonna put it mid.
And I like the way SlimOdds is drafting it. They're going for a very team play oriented style. The rail also flex, right? Could be jungle, could be support, but it could be. It's probably just bot lane, right? Because into a Talia, you don't really want to play that around the mid lane.
Sure, but do you think if Shaka Bantu just goes for like Braum or an Alistar that SlimOdds have a problem and just like put the rel into the jungle?
I think Braum has a lot of value here. Yeah, it's great disengage against the rel, and it also denies a lot of Misfortune's ultimate damage. Instead, they're gonna go for the Olaf, which is a very decent pick.
I did not expect this.
It's again could be jungle top, but perhaps they just wanted to make sure they had this locked down for either Michi or the jungler, but I'm not quite sure either. It's a bit of a wild card.
Yeah, it's weird because like the rel is probably support, so it's not like a direct jungle counter pick. I mean, sure, Olaf is good against rel no matter what, but still, it's not like a jungle counter pick. It's also not like top lane counter pick so far. So we'll have to see. I'm looking forward to an Olaf. We don't see it that often.
Yeah, usually you see it either as a counter pick or you see it with perhaps something supportive that can really like enable the Olaf and make sure he can chase his targets down a lot easier, which is not really the case here yet. So we'll see how it works out. Right now though, Maokai ban.
It's also a classic, right?
Yeah, it makes it seem like they think the rel is just support anyway, and they want to ban out some junglers that could be good team fighters again, right? Because it's great setup if you do Maokai into rel or Misfortune with Azir. There's a lot of team fighting champions that I want to ban away. Oh right, I remember now. They lost bans, SlimOdds, because they had an emergency sub.
Yes, but one thing, and I think it's quite funny, they banned the Maokai, right?
Yeah.
So if SlimOdds would have picked a Maokai, they could like switch the rel and the Maokai wherever they want. So it's like because like some kind of double flex in itself. So, but still, don't think. I mean, Rel is like hardcore engage, and
Mhm,
Maokai is also good with some long range combs where you just press R and what should happen.
Yep.
One thing, did you
The
see a
Braum.
Senna today already?
I've not seen
Oh
the
yeah,
Senna today yet, but I'm actually
there's the
really
Braum.
surprised that the Braum was still open because
I mean,
they
I really
actually
think
went
it's
for
a
the.
power pick, right?
I think so as well. They went for the Rakan ban instead, which is not sure, but they
Wait a
did it
second.
any.
Is it a
Oh,
Renata now? And Rel
Renata.
goes into the jungle?
I've not seen Renata Misfortune yet, and into Braum, it's not the most solid pick either.
I mean, the thing is,
But it's gonna get locked in.
oh wow, okay. So Renata kind of does have a decent time. I mean, sure, the ultimate can be blocked by Braum E.
Hmm.
But regarding lane, it should be fine. On the other hand, I think Braum Varus are just a really, really stable lane, so I don't think the Renata pick does like do that much, but we'll see.
Hmm.
Renata always has the potential to win you a team fight alone, so.
Yep.
But still, the other team already has Olaf and Braum. I'm
We
not that sure if the Renata will be that successful.
we just picked another mid laner on the side of SlimOdds.
Wait, what is happening?
Is this
Wait,
gonna
what is
be a zero
this?
top?
I think it
They're
might be.
pivoting. They're pivoting. I mean,
What is happening?
SlimOdds did
No
put a
zero
sub
top
in,
lane.
right? So
Sure.
perhaps the secret pick of the top laner is the Azir top. And I do see 2 games on the OPWG,
Yes,
so
and he played Grasp with it. That's funny.
it all makes sense now. That's why they were so confident to pick it first, because they had the flex in the back pocket.
They're even going like this kind of tank build, I think, right? I mean,
I'm not
it could
even
be.
sure.
I've seen a lot of mages in the past going like a semi-tank
Hmm.
build. Um,
It
we'll have to see.
actually,
We'll have to see.
yeah, it actually has been a little bit popular as well in the pro esports where they go the normal Leandries, but then they go for instance, a Frozen Heart or an Abyssal Mask or a Rift
And
Maker.
yeah, Riftmaker and Lionris with like the both of
Exactly,
their effects
exactly,
stack, so it's always a lot of damage even if you go tank afterwards.
exactly that.
I'm intrigued. That's interesting.
All
I've
right,
not
so
seen this before.
let's run these matchups down a little bit from top to bottom here. We got Azir versus Gnar, and the jungle is gonna be, I'm assuming, Olaf versus Rel, right?
Yeah, it looks
And
like
then
it.
mid lane we got the Orianna versus Talia, and bot's gonna be the Varus with the Braum versus the Misfortune Renata.
I mean, the thing about Azir is, he's a control mage with actually a decent amount of mobility. So, yes, he's kind of threatened by ganks if the Nara gets mega and
Hmm.
even pushes him against wall stuff. But still, I think he will be just fine. I mean, it depends because like it's an Olaf jungle, right?
Hmm.
Um, do you think they will be able to kill the Azir or punish him early?
I think it's a good question because if you look to the other side of the map, it's usually, do you want to play for top or do you want to play for bot, right? And if I'm looking at bot, you got Braum, Varus as setup. So I do think you want to try and punish this Azir earlier on. And with a combination of Gnar Olaf, I think you do have a good chance of running him down. Uh, it's just going to be hard to kind of lock him down because you have a lot of slowing abilities, but not a lot of lockdown abilities on these champions. So it's a matter of positioning, I feel like, for the Azir player here. Like, how well do you manage your waves? Um, which is going to be hard because I feel like they're both the ranged characters who have like decent control over how their wave is going to be. So we'll have to see how that's going to be set up to punish or deny ganks.
One thing I like, SlimOdds basically have the opposite idea, right? They
Hmm.
have a Renata in the jungle who really likes to just spam ganks. And like MF in bot lane who with the Renata. Wait, did I just say Renata? It doesn't matter. Rel in the jungle likes to spam gank.
It's all right.
MF Renata in the bot lane is like better setup than the Braum on the other side, I think. And I do think they kind of will play around that. If you get the MF online, she really can snowball. But I don't even know because is it gonna be enough? I would say Shaka Bantu has like if the teams go even, I would give the advantage to Shaka Bantu, just because I think the Braum, the Olaf do have a little bit too much value in this game.
Yeah,
We'll
I
have
think
we'll
so
have
as
to
well.
see.
Yeah. hmm I do agree. I do like the simplicity of the Slim odds draft, though. They have a lot of team fighting tools that kind of enable them to make plays, right? They got the Azir shuffles, the Rel flash engages, with the Oriana balls as well, which allows for a lot of playmaking. Well, on the other side of Shakabantu, they also have some playmaking, right? Because you got the Gnar and the Talia engages with the Varus and Olaf, like kind of follow up kind of thing. But it's not as straightforward. It's more of a how do you say? I think they're going to play a lot for side lanes because I think that's easiest to kind of make the pickoffs, and I think that's where their champions will excel a lot more.
Yeah, one thing we haven't talked about yet is like Talia's Weaver's Wall. I think like basically it's the only semi-global, I would call it, in this
hmm
game.
hmm
And if they do play for like side lanes and SlimOdds have to answer them, both the MF and the Oriana do not have any form of dashes, as well as Renata. They can be caught off quickly, and that's gonna be dangerous.
Yeah, I have to agree. The pickoff potential on the side of Shakabuntu with some well set up vision control can definitely lead to a lot of picks and accelerate the game for them. So
What
matchup
is your
wise,
sorry?
no, go ahead, go ahead.
What is your opinion of Varus? Which is the best build, or is it just simply a situational question? What do you prefer?
That's a good question, actually. I think there's a lot of options where usually people either consider on hit or lethality. There are some AP options as well, but I think it's very uncommon to take that unless the enemy team has like a lot of tanks that you would like to do some percentage damage against. And the lethality items right now are very decent as well as the on hit kind of tank build that you see nowadays. Um,
We've also played it last game, or like last series. Let's call it
yeah,
that.
exactly. So it is pretty hot. And in this, I think situational. So let's look at the situation right now. I do think Varus has some threats to him, but you do have a Braum beside you, right? Who's very good at protecting as well. Um,
So it might
so
just be on hit.
I think it might be on it, but I think you can definitely get away with some lethality as well, which provides you a bit more damage on the poke, right?
So I think what makes Varus so broken is basically you can just pick him and
hmm
be anything, right? You can be this hyper carry rage blade on hit Varus.
Yeah.
Um, and then the lethality build, I feel at the moment that the lethality build doesn't even really fall off. I mean, just like if
hmm
you in the past, if you went lethality on Varus, it was almost every game like 3 items, and after that you just fall off a
Yeah.
cliff.
Then the crit ADCs
Um,
come running
yes,
through, and you're done.
and right now it's not that bad. I feel like a 5-6 items lethality Varus does his fair share of damage at the moment. Since the lethality has like the level scaling, or basically they change how lethality works. Um, it's not like a crush lane or lose kind of build anymore.
hmm
So in this case specifically, um, SlimOdds have like one tank in the form of the Rel.
hmm
I do think that it's gonna be Lethality Varus, even if he has a Braum with him. But like we'll see.
I think
That
so as
would be
well.
just my prediction.
No, I think so as well. It's going to be lethality because it also provides value in because Slimmos is very team fight oriented kind of team here with the champions they picked. So one option you can do is make sure they're low before the team fight happens, right? Which is pretty easy with lethality build. And then once the team fight starts, they're already half HP. So even if they do engage, they have to play very perfectly. Otherwise, it's already very hard to do. But on the other
That
hand,
is
if you wanna, maybe you wanna opt into team fighting as well, because you do have a Gnar, you do have a Braum, you do have a SLE, yeah, we're also very decent at team fighting, so I think there's options. There's always options here.
I mean, it's funny because like you said, or like you made your prediction of Shaka Bantu playing for sides.
Mhm.
If you have a Varus whose lethality, he also provides you with like better wave clear than just the on-hit Varus who can stay mid and push back waves from a safe distance. So I don't know. I would like the lethality Varus here, but at the
Mhm.
end, it's preference. Maybe the team likes to play the on-hit Varus. Maybe he likes. I don't think he's going AP. That's the one thing I
Yeah,
would
no,
rule
I
out.
have
But
to agree. I have to agree.
I would like the lethality version.
Yeah, so I'm gonna abuse your AD carry knowledge a bit more.
I'm a top
We're
laner,
looking
by
at
the way.
it doesn't matter. I feel like you have some knowledge about this, so I'm gonna abuse this unless you have some inside knowledge on the Azir top lane that you wanna expose here, but
I mean,
otherwise.
one thing I actually do have one thing because I've played
Mhm.
against Azir top once, and I was playing Nar.
Wow.
So
Okay. Well,
it's
that's
like a
perfect
weird
matchup.
coincidence, but yeah, I was playing against a one trick. It was solo queue. It felt weird because I did not feel as if I had a lot of agency. Especially Mininar in the early game is not that strong if you can't abuse his range. But if the Azir does play too upfront, right? If he just stays in front of your turret, you can punish him even if he has like his dash.
Yeah.
So there's that.
I see. I see. Okay, that's good insight. I like it. Um, right. I was gonna pivot into some more ADC discussion because MF usually plays some or build some lethality this time around as well, as far as I remember. So perhaps we have a lethality versus lethality matchup. Who knows? Who knows?
I mean, the good thing, like I've seen some MFs like start Yumos and just
Mm-hmm.
build Collector and pivot into an Infinity Edge and go crit. I have no idea if it's good, right? So, but there's the option.
Yeah.
I still. The thing is, the enemy does look kind of beefy, right? The
Mm-hmm.
Olaf, the Braum, the Gnar, at the later stages of the game, they will get tanky. I have no idea what the MF is gonna do. I'm gonna be honest. I think that would be my prediction. She is going to go a lethality item first. That's the one thing I'm gonna predict. But after that, let's see what happens.
After that, it's all up to the stars, and we'll see what's written in there. But for now, we have expressed our opinions about Shaka Bantu, about SlimOdds. What is the matchup we would like to focus on for this match or game? Sorry.
I mean, like the obvious answer would be like the top lane, right? The
Yep.
Azir in the top lane. I'm really looking
Mhm.
forward to it. Um, but then again, I'm also interested in how this counterpick on the support side. They flexed the rel. They expected an answer that like we expected it to be on the support.
Yep.
They put it in jungle and counterpicked the rel. I'm sorry, I'm
The
messing these up.
Renata.
Renata. Man,
Indeed.
why do they both wait? What is happening here? Both teams are invading.
But
I mean,
on different paths.
to be fair, I think it's scary for SlimOdds to just walk into the jungle there. If there is like a Hail of Blades Varus with Braum,
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
die, right?
Olaf as
But
well. It's very
they
scary.
set up their vision, so well, we'll see. It's a peaceful
Yep.
start so far.
I think so as well. I think they will spot the Braum and the Varus here walking back on the blue ward in the river. So I think they do have some sort of idea that they got invaded. They're gonna check anyway, and they should be fine because they saw everyone walking back. So no problems
Oh,
there.
and look, the Azir, he's playing Grasp.
Ah, as
Do
expected.
you know why?
Um,
Azir
I'm
got
gonna do a
changed
wild.
recently.
I'm gonna do a wild guess and say that the soldiers might proc this Grasper.
Azir got changed recently, which was also the reason why the Azir mids started picking up Fleet.
Mm-hmm.
The soldiers proc these kind of on-hit effects now. So I mean, I would actually like to see the top lane because I'm gonna nice because like I mean he's level 1, so if I don't think the Gnar will walk out. What now? There's the guard.
Oh wow!
Perfect.
Yeah,
Nice.
I see the
So
interaction. Yeah,
it works. Nice.
good to see.
And I don't think that the Gnar will have that much fun in this matchup, but
No.
we'll see. Maybe they can punish the Azir if he plays too aggressive with like Mega Gnar and the Olaf gank.
And I really like the adaptation of the junglers here. So they warded the entire bot side of SlimOdds here. So they actually knew a Rel was down there. So the Olaf search they went for an invade here. And they're actually gonna do a little vertical here on the jungles. Because they both actually kind of know where the enemy jungler is going based on the vision that was taken. So I really like the adaptation here. It does seem like the Rel is a little bit ahead or maybe similar on pace.
I mean, it's a little bit faster, but I don't think it makes that
no, it's not too big of a difference indeed. It looks like they are gonna meet though. I'm not sure if Rel is gonna greet for the wolves as well or just path away afterwards.
I think it would be great, but like she has smite, she's walking up. Ah, she does not take it. I don't think she wins that fight, by the way. The Braum is moving, but there's the plant.
Oh, Ghost activated.
Okay, yeah, Ghost. She's just, I think. Wait, the Olaf is getting kind of low, to be honest. But the passive for Braum, yeah, it's Renata W. She does get the reset, dies in the end, but on the other side of the battle, the Talia is also getting ignited, get flashed on.
One more auto.
She does not get in range. Oh, that's a tragedy. It was actually kinda. I like the flash, like the flash into the face of the Talia, but at the end of the day, it was not like if you commit, you have to commit fully. And it's one auto, right? So just one auto.
So if we look back here, Braum actually joins up a little bit earlier than the enemy team, but they get the revive on the Renata W. And then, like you mentioned here, the flash forward with the double buffs, actually trying to get the last piece of damage, but doesn't quite get it.
At the end of the day, it's like Braum is so strong in these early fights, right? Wait, it's just getting smashed. What? The boulder toss of the Gnar just kills him straight up.
And as we were caster cursing this matchup as Azir favored, it's actually going to go into the way of Michidarko here, with doesn't even have to use the flash here.
I mean, I feel like the matchup in itself is not that... Oh, but the TP is coming in. Gnar has flash. Flashed out to safety. Does have the TP. The lane gets frozen, but should be fine. Just TPing back. And catching most of the wave.
Yep. And it does seem a little bit beneficial here for the side of Shaka Bantu. Because the Olaf's going to continue farming up here. While Rel's going to opt into the grubs. Which is a very nice objective for her to take, as she can kind of destroy these shields that pop up here in a bit.
Yes, but like the one interaction that does not work anymore, if I'm correct, I'm not 100% sure about it, but I don't think she can like make two at once anymore.
Come again?
Does she even break the shield?
Yeah.
I'm not sure, because like there's one interaction. I just saw, but there was one interaction where you like put two grubbers or grubbies at 1 HP and just queue through them, killing both of them instantly. Because like the second one, which would get the shield, gets broken instantly. But I don't think it works like that anymore. And you cannot deny the second shield because like the I don't know. I'm not quite sure on this, but
regardless of the interaction, it looks like she
I've looked at the patch notes and they said like took it out, but I have no idea how it really works.
A little bug fix then. In the meantime, Search Shift did take the dragon on the other side, which I think is a very nice pickup for them. It's always a question of grubs versus dragons. It kind of depends on your matchups, right? Because do you want to play for side lane more? Do you need that extra split power? Or do you rather just stack a couple drakes, which kind of give benefits to the entire team as well, right? In the form of stats.
I mean, to be fair, I feel like Shaka Bantu would have liked the grubs more than like SlimOdds would have, because in general, I mean, the safe option is always the Drake, right?
Mhm.
With like grubs, it for one the one reason for grubs is if you have like pressure on side lanes, if you want to like push these turrets as fast as possible, constantly get to the enemy turret and start hitting and can start to hit it. But grubs do not have that much value if you don't get 5 or 6. So like the safe option is always the Drake.
Correct. That's definitely true. And also, like, I believe this dragon gives a little bit of healing, which is nice for Olaf as well. And we already see Rel opting into a rather safe item. I believe the Warder's Mail is a very nice component to sit on against a lot of auto attackers. It helps a lot.
Is she going Frozen Heart first?
Could be, but I'm not too sure. It's a very nice item against Gnar, and Olaf as well, which rely a lot on getting auto attacks off. So it's a good choice. So you see some action down here in the bot lane, perhaps, as Willy Sang is trying to set up a lane gank here. Just gonna push out the wave.
By the way, like, for the Varus is going lethality. We were right about that. Oh, there's Magnet Storm of the Rel, lane ganking through the brushes. Braum does not have his flash currently. Can go down, MF flashes forward. Does not have the bullet time currently. Oh wow, the piercing arrow almost killed the Rel. Ah, man, what's happening? The Renata with these champions, so it's terrible. Now it's a level 6 MF, but I think she's just going to push out the wave and go base. The wave at the moment is not fully on the turret, but I think she does not care. She just wants the tempo, go base. And buy, not lethality, but crit actually. So the Varus is going lethality, but the MF, my prediction of like first item lethality is completely wrong. As she does look for a crit build.
Yeah. We can definitely throw that one out of the window. If we take a quick look at how these teams are kind of playing this, it does seem like the Rel is more focused on ganking Ray, as kind of fits with her champion, and Cersei was more focused on getting some.
Gnar has Mega. That's dangerous. Flash gets okay, perfect. The one interesting part about like Olaf and Azir is Olaf does get stopped by Terrain, right? So if there's a wall, he does not. He like if he's even if he's unstoppable, he cannot pass. Oh, there's a flash in the mid lane. Shockwave completely misses, but that's a Talia without flash. Give the kill over to Orianna. Perfect. Now she's also on board with a 2-1 in the mid lane. At the same time, the grubs are getting taken by Shaka Bantu. They secured 2 grubs, which is huge. Now SlimOdds will only get to have 4 grubs, which will not spawn any of the little worms. And that's what I said earlier, right? Now, do you want? I think you're more comfortable in having the Drake and 2 grubs than having 4 grubs and no Drake.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, it really becomes back to a 5 or 6. So I think there's a very smart trade by them. As you saw, they were not very determined to get the 3rd either. They were very happy to get the 2, get out with their lives, and deny that extra power. Because in the meantime, they are a little bit behind in gold. But if we look where the gold is at, it's mostly
mid lane, right?
Yeah, it's mostly into this Orianna, which is going to be quite big for team fights. And I'm actually surprised Olaf is only ahead by about 100 gold.
I mean,
despite being 12 camps, I'm not sure. I mean,
Rel has 2 assists more, I guess, but I mean, still.
Fair enough.
I would have thought the Olaf would be a little bit more ahead.
Yeah, I think this is actually a very favorable position for SlimOdds that they're in right now. I think they're very well set up to start contesting some team fights here on this dragon.
On Vision.
Yeah.
But the Gnar moved down
It's gonna be
They're
responded to in the
probably
bot
just
lane.
gonna
Yeah.
trade it with some plates in the top lane. The Gnar into 3 people flashing into the whole team. That's one. That's done.
Yeah,
And then the
indeed. That
TP back to the top lane. They're not even gonna lose plays.
is it
Very
gonna
well.
get
That
cancelled?
was really well played by the Gnar. Just going down, going base, going to the Drake directly, having the perfect rage bar for the bot lane play, and just TPing back top lane to not even lose out on anything.
Yeah, I think so as
He
well.
lost 1 plate, I think, or 2
that's-
even.
that's
I'm not
nothing.
sure, but
That's
now his team is sitting on 6 and 3, 2k or like 1.5k gold lead, and 2 drakes.
Mhm.
They should scale pretty well into the later stages of the game.
So let's look at this macro play one more time. They actually start off with a fight on the bot lane here by SlimOdds. And they do get a nice pick onto the Braum, but it doesn't quite turn out because he's quite tanky. And then the big Gnar into 3 people back into his allies with the perfect Gnar bar like you mentioned.
While at the same time the Ori is getting killed. No mana on the Varus though, but like the auto takes do enough damage. They got very low, but still, they got the kill. I don't think it was a shutdown, but still, the Ori is strong. If you kill her a bunch of times and get the kills onto the Varus, really good for Shaka Bantu. Now the Varus is sitting on 4-0 with the Umos already completed. He's going to be a menace in this if we enter the mid game.
Exactly. I do believe he picked up a small shutdown from the Orianna here, or 150 gold.
I think that's a kill, by the way. He has an
does
R
have
into the
Gnar?
wall. No flash on
flash out.
Azir, no ult on Azir. Last boulder,
One more auto?
one more auto, or the W will also do it. And he's going down.
Wow.
The Azir so far not working out that well as like SlimOdds maybe have hoped. But then again, Michidako was his name, I don't know.
Yes, sir.
Is playing really strong. Is playing really well. He's looking really strong on this Gnar on the top lane.
Yep,
Putting a lot of
think so as
pressure
well.
on the enemy team. Not even in the lane, but globally.
Yep. I do think this Azir pick might be more of a scaling thing, where it's a tiny bit of a lane bully as well. Oh, they're gonna look for a pick on the well, but not quite find it here.
We're just
As
constantly
the-
fighting.
Yeah, around
We're
these
not even
objectives, they're really
Getting to talk about the whole state of the game. They're just fighting, taking on the heralds. Gnar has his rage bar stacked. He's already transformed. He does not have his ultimate though, but still can jump in, has the W for CC. He's getting mini now, which is not that bad because now they can just take the. They're gonna fight this actually.
Oh.
Rombold is getting pulled. But then Varus does hit his ult. It's a 4-man shockwave. What was that? 3-man, I think. Just fence off the engage, and they're fine. Only losing 1 player, but the Herald in the process as well. So really good for Shaka Bantu.
I think so as
But
well. They
is
are
this
gonna
the
get
first
the
turret? They need.
I believe so. Yeah. So it
I mean,
could
it needs
be
one
first.
more wave, but still.
Yeah, it could be first gold over to SlimOdds, but I think Shaka Bantu shows some really good decisiveness here, where they're on the objective first, right? They have 4 players already next to the Herald when it's spawning. And then when you look at these team fights as well, the objective's taken down. They're still turning for people who are kind of overstepping, right? And they're looking for these picks, which I think is very important. And then SlimOdds looks a little bit disconnected. You have Rel on one side of the river, one entrance of the river. And then you kind of have Renata, but MF isn't even there. So your ADC's not even here to contest that. So I'm not quite sure what they were looking for there. And that's perhaps also where the disconnect comes from, which is actually really important when you're trying to play these kind of team fight comps, right?
Sure, and one problem SlimOdds have is they have no access to these like herald pits and stuff if they are not there first. Of course they have like the Rel flash engage. Oh wait, there's something bad happening in the bot lane. Rel does have flash and magnet storm. Decides against using it. The Olaf is there. The Talia has R, can get covered. So now
now it becomes
Herald
really hard for
they've
SlimOdds.
already placed the heralds. Drake has not spawned yet.
Oh, Celia is gonna ride it actually, but it's gonna go down.
Missed it completely, but
Let it drift.
let's
Let him
go.
cook.
Nice, nice, nice,
He's
nice.
cooking.
He does have. Oh,
my
no!
days, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh no! Now he's like he can ult out, but still, like this is not a
And
good
he's gonna
position.
go. Oh, he's
Oh,
gonna get stunned
Flash
up.
stun. Oh, that was beautiful. Into the shockwave. He does have his flash, but I think he's just going. Is he? The Azia is moving. Should be going down still, but like he has no R. He does have.
Oh, wait,
He does have
Azir
the
is on the wrong
flash though.
path.
Okay, it's a kill. The Azir shifting sands forward. He doesn't even get the assist, but he just makes sure the Talia cannot escape. Bullet time gets. Oh, that is just. I like the attempt.
Yeah.
With bullet
I think
time,
it's
the rel
respectable.
E, but the Braum shield prevents anything crazy from happening.
Yep, I think so as well. And it's understandable because you're not fighting for this objective, but you still want to use your ultimate for these objectives fights. So I think it's very reasonable to use it on the same timer either way. But we have to talk about Celia just driving. It went first. We went the wrong way, right? We're going the wrong way. So it's okay. We turn this around. Let him cook. He's gonna hit this for sure. He's on the right path, and then he misses it by a hair length. I don't know where she got he or she got this driver's license, but
I just want to know if he's allowed to drive a car, because like I would not feel safe if this is a person I'm gonna meet on the driveway. Just
for sure
like
not.
drifting past the turret, running into the enemy base, just dying. I mean, at least he kept his flash, but still, that was an unfortunate series of events.
Yeah, this is kind of the equivalent of trying to drift into the parking spot and then hitting the pole on the end, kind of thing.
Frozen Heart second of the Azir. He is going the off-tank build.
As expected. So it's going to be kind of like a double Frozen Heart here. I think the value is still going to be great because Azir is going to mostly have to get benefit from it in the side lane, right? And the Rel is going to benefit from it in these team fights, which is very nice.
I mean, to be fair, he did kind of stabilize, didn't he? I mean, he's up in CS, of course, he did not have this pressure that the Gnar had. But I think he's chilling. Like, he did go down earlier a couple of times, but now he's getting quite strong.
Yeah, I think so as well. He is scaling. The biggest problem they have right now is the pressure that Michidarko on this Gnar already provided, and which has resulted in 3 Drakes so far, right? And these 3 Drakes are definitely gonna stack up. It's a Cloud Drake as well, which most of these champions benefit quite nicely from.
Especially Olaf, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Does he have a W? And he's running. By
By
the way, this
gonna
I was about to talk about this interaction 5 minutes ago. Olaf, if he uses R, he can actually dodge the Azir ult.
Really?
Yes, because like the moment they spawn and like push you back, they're not coded as like terrain. So they're not a wall in this case. They're just like form of pushback CC. If they just like go through him, they do nothing but damage to this Olaf. Once the wall is established, right? He cannot like just walk through. But the pushback does not happen if he uses his R. So technically he could just run down the Azir, but he was a little bit too far behind. So yeah, like far behind, and he was too far away.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Interesting. Will be interesting to see if he's gonna be able to use that interaction. Let's take a quick look at the item state here. It seems about even, right? Except if we look over to the ADC itemization.
As the Olaf goes top lane, Azir does not have flash, does not have R. I think he's just dead.
He is gonna
won't get any kill. Gnar has his mega. He was never in danger at all. And that's a kill. The Azir did get the turret, so it's kind of like trade. He just like, I think at this point, he just thought, I mean, if I die here, I at least get the gold. He has 2 items now. It is okay, but on the other hand, it's just the obvious play for Shaka Bantu.
Yeah, I think so as well. And if we look at the map stay a little bit, SlimOdds are 1 tower up, right? But dragon-wise, they're quite down. And I do think they're gonna try to want to contest the next dragon to prevent the stall. And his bot turret's probably going to help a lot with that, which is going to provide them some easier access together with the mid tower hopefully being up by that time as well. It's going to be 30 seconds out, so all the members of SlimOdds are going to get a nice base off here. Oriana's going to start moving down as well. So interesting to see who's going to get there first, and it looks like Shaka Bantu is going to arrive first on this objective here. The Narbar is not completely stacked, but it's at a very nice percentage where you can kind of get it through mid-way to the fight here. And it does look they're all going to fight for this.
Azir still doesn't have flash. Nar just running him down, even has the red buff, and Wits End second is like huge here in this game. He's playing against basically triple magic damage topside.
Yeah, exactly. And if we look at the vision control here by Shaka Bantu, it's almost completely dark here for SlimOdds, except for this one ward that's in the river. It's going to get started up. The Narbar is set as well. Oriana has joined the fight now.
In same case, they cannot. They have a really hard time entering this fight, but Rel has her flash. Flash into the wall, just dies. Nar has the presence of mind to just like ult her instantly, and that's Soul. Oh wow, that's what's happening. They are just running the. It's like what? The snipe. The piercing arrow just finds the misfortune on the side. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a 1-for-2. I did not think that they would fight again, but the shockwave was the big difference maker. Look at it on the bottom side. They kind of got a fighting chance by that.
So let's break this one down. It's very hard for Rel to enter and then gets Nard into the wall as well. So it's not going to quite get anything here. Only really looking to steal this dragon away, which loses you a lot of team power. And then the shockwave comes in, gets the Braum in the end, which is a mega snipe here by Goatster, even after the flash by Stoosh. So that's a really nice play. It's interesting. They're not really playing for the fight, right? Because Rel kind of went Ram style and tried to steal the dragon and use most of her abilities for that. So I'm not sure. I think they're gonna have to pivot their strategy a little bit.
I mean, that's the big problem for SlimOdds. I mean, before the fight they were like only 2k gold behind, which is not that bad. But the pressure of this soul, they have to walk and they have to play for the soul. They have no chance, even if like the realm somehow makes it through, seals away the Drake, she still just dies, and the fight is lost.
Yeah, I think so as well. But if we look at the Oriana here, she did kind of benefit from all this because she's 2.5 or almost 3 items now. Quite a CS lead as well, so I think she could be the big savior in these team fights. Azir is not really quite there yet. Maybe a 3rd or 4th item is where he's really going to start putting down the damage, because at this point he's kind of just even with the Gnar here. As you can see in the side lane, it's not looking too favorable.
It's just Gnars him out of the turret, but I don't think Azir is gonna die. He has flash, he has like frozen heart, he's really tanky.
Yeah, that actually looked quite nice. Oh, as the Baron is gonna get started up here by Shaka Bantu, and SlimOdds are nowhere to be seen.
Both top laners have TP, but I think it's just gone. They're way too late on this play. They don't even get, like, they get pushed in the mid lane, but I don't think they're gonna get the turret. I think it's just gone. The purple worm is dead.
Yeah.
And this is a Varus with 3 items, with 7-0, and they're just gonna like run down enemy turrets, I think now.
I think so as well.
Gnar didn't even have to use his TP. It was an amazing play by Shaka Bantu. SlimOdds did not have any clue.
Yep. And we were talking about the side lanes and how Shaka Bantu could really play well for those side lanes. But it turns out the team fights are really where they're shining at the moment, and I think they might even lose in the side lanes, because if we look at the Oriana items, we look at the Talia items, it does seem like the Oriana would win out there. And we just saw the 1v1 in the bot lane. Nobody is really killing anyone there, right?
It feels like it. Both players did spend their gold on defensive stats, and now it's just a fight without any casualties.
Exactly.
But still, Varus is incredibly strong. Also purchased the Last Whisper. If any Chain of Corruption hits, people are going down.
Exactly. So it's gonna be really spooky for SlimOdds to try and contest anything. As Azir is gonna be here alone in the side lane.
I mean,
Does have
they
to
do
flash
not
up.
have any rage. Azir has R and Flash and a Frozen Heart. Let's see it.
This could be
He's
quite
just gonna
scary.
TP out, gonna TP to the mid lane.
Wow. Towards the
And,
play
like,
as
look
well.
at the Varus damage, just one shot.
Big
That's
shuffle.
What is happening? The shuffle, the Shuma shuffle, Empress Divide was amazing. Now the TP is gonna get channeled. People are going down left and right. 1000 gold shuffled down for the Azir. He's killing the backline. He's even killing the Talia, but at the same time, Olaf and Nar made quick work of the enemy side's bot lane. I think also like the Azir is going down. It takes some time, but the Braum has a red buff and the Frost, the Winter's Bite, I think it's called Winter's Bite. What's the passive called? Do you know? Frostbite?
Go
I'm
with
not sure. Frostbite was
Frostbite.
Vishwani, I think, but like
We
doesn't
can
matter.
go Winter's Bite. I like that.
Yeah,
Let's go
okay,
with Winter's
perfect.
Bite. There we go. The
No,
passive-
okay, I'm completely wrong. Never mind.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Q ability, but we're
Yeah,
not.
it could also be. I'm not sure. One ability might be something or
Yeah.
something like that, but it's fine.
And
It's
let's
fine.
break this one down real quick. We have the huge shovel coming in, but then the shockwave
you
just
see the shockwave, yeah.
entirely misses. And I think that's been one of the big difference makers in these fights, where it doesn't look too favorable for SlimOdds the whole time, but at least they get either 1 or 2 kills back with the shockwave. And if that misses, then I think, as you can see, it's just entirely favored for Shaka Bantu.
And it's heartbreaking for SlimOdds. This Orianna played so well up to this point. The shockwave around the Drake almost even won them the fight. And then this blunder in one of the most important team fights, because now they have a big problem. Almost a 10k gold deficit. And it's not gonna get better. This Varus is almost full build.
Exactly.
We saw what he did to the Renata. I've almost said Religan. Basically two-shot the Renata with like a Q and North attack.
Yeah. Oh, Rel in a bit of a problem here.
Well, does not have flash. The Gnar is right there. Has the R, has the ult, has the passive also. And like this Braum has so much value. Just standing there, tagging people with concussive blows, and just putting up his shield, and there's nothing they can do.
Yeah, and if you look at the itemization as well, he's really quite a tanky boy at this point in time. So if you look at the side for the side of SlimOdds, who are you gonna kill of this front line? Because this Olaf is a tanky beast, he's not gonna get locked down either. The Braum is just takes too many resources to kill as well. Oh, so we have a little bit of dive here.
Execute,
nice
coming
pickup.
in clutch. They probably would never have gotten this kill without the Illa. I'm just kidding.
For sure not.
But-
It was good team play, well timed, and
I mean, MF kept her flash, so there's that. But I don't really see a big chance for SlimOdds. I mean, the thing is, if they somehow get a perfect Renata ult, the Varus does not have cleanse. He can, if he gets hit, if there is a good Renata ult, if there is a good Rel ult, they can win a fight, but it's gonna be really hard. The Olaf is so strong, the Gnar is so strong, even if they kill this 10-1 Varus again, it won't make, I don't think it's gonna make big of a difference. But we'll see.
yeah. I think they definitely need a couple miracle team fights here, where I think if they layer all their damage onto
Little flash in the Rel.
all of the people, it's gonna get tagged here actually.
Ghost,
knocked
he's
up,
gonna get
knocked back.
swooped by Talia.
Magna Storm is gonna hit. But
And the execute is right there. Yeah, Gnar securing the kill. That's mine, he said.
yeah,
Top laner difference.
and we're talking about needing a couple team fights to come back into this match, but they're not
Look at
gonna
the
get
bomb.
those team
It's just
fights.
not taking any damage.
Yeah, exactly.
Standing there, face tanking the Azir. Doesn't matter.
For now, they just need to kind of survive this Elder buff, which is going to be quite scary. But seems like besides for the Rel, they're not going to fall too much. Too many players are going to fall, and they're just going to go for the safe call, right? The Baron setup first, and then perhaps end with that.
I mean, they've already broken up the base, right? You have super minions flooding down the mid lane with Baron buff. I don't like. They're not gonna have an easy time defending this.
No, I don't think so either. And especially with 2 buffs, the question is, are they going to reset or will they just play on this timer they have right now? And it looks like the Meganar is going to try and look for something here, but it's not going to too much, so they're just going to push some waves and hopefully, I mean, I say hopefully, I think they probably are looking to end here. Because what else do you need for them? They have a 13k gold leaf, they have all the dragons, they got the Elder Dragon as well, they got the Baron buff. So it looks like they're going to opt into a 2-2-1, which is something you don't see too often, but going to try and make sure
it works for them.
Exactly, they have all the buffs, they have the stronger characters at the moment, so...
And now it's looking really grim. They've just breached open the bottom side of the map.
Yep.
2 inhibitors are down. You can engage. The thing is, now they have to find something.
Oh, the Charizard is going to go
Chain
wide.
of Corruption misses. The inhibitor in the mid lane respawns. Wow, those piercing arrows just like
Big
half
engage.
HP. Big engage. The Olaf is just running. MF has no chance of playing this team fight. The Olaf does not care. He's just there. Oh, now you saw the interaction. Did you see it? The Olaf just ran through the Emperor's Divide when it got casted.
Oh my
He was
days.
unstoppable, he does not get pushed back, he just runs through the ultimate and just kills the Azir on the spot. Man, really happy that we saw this again in this game.
Yep.
A little shutdown onto the Gnar, that's good for the stats, but...
It's gonna bet the stats a little bit, yeah, it's gonna diminish the gold lead a little bit, but they're gonna end with a nice 69k gold on the side of Shaka Bantu, and I really like how they played that. They played it very safe, even though it looked like they were quite far ahead, right? They got the Elder Dragon, they had the chance to perhaps look for a fight and end already. But they opted into the Baron, tried to push as many waves in as possible, because the side of SlimOdds does have some decent wave clear with the Azir and Orianna. So perhaps they tried to get as many minions in and end with that.
And like the game was kind of stable for like the majority of the early game. I mean, we had the discussion about like grubs versus drakes, but like at the end it looked as if it was really stompy, right? What was like for you the point in the game where it all escalated?
I think I think there wasn't even one point where it really escalated, because there were numerous fights where even after the fight they were only like 2 or maybe 2 to 3k in range of each other. So gold wise it was still very even, but at some point you kind of just saw the fights only going Shaka Bantu's ways. And that's kind of where I thought it was probably after the 4th dragon. It was very late where I thought, okay, now it's gonna go kind of out of control, because these objectives are not contestable anymore by SlimOdds, and that's where you see Shaka Bantu kind of take over and secure these objectives with ease, basically.
I mean, we had the fight around Drake where they secured the soul, where the Rel basically just had to run in and die, flashed into the pit, did not secure the Drake, just died, couldn't help her team at all. But I think the nail in the coffin probably was like the mid fight, where like the Orianna accidentally ulted herself, because after that the goal difference really ballooned. We went up to 5k after that, I think. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Looked really clean by Shaka Bantu in the end. I mean, they traded around the map, and at some point they just took over, right?
Yeah,
Did not
exactly.
feel like they made a lot of mistakes.
No, exactly. And it already started in the draft. They have some nice picks set up to deal with what SlimOdds was throwing at them. And then in the game, I really liked how they moved Michi Darko down for some of these earlier objectives. And they played around the Meganar with that very well.
That was my play of the game, by the way. The
Yeah.
moment he just like walked to the Drake, fought the Drake, had the perfect rage bar. And then after the fight, after they secured the fight and won the fight, he just TP'd back to the top lane, didn't even lose a lot. And that was insane for like the whole tempo of Shaka Bantu. After that, it was smooth sailing basically.
Yeah, I think so as well. And we do have some hydrates in the chat, so we're probably gonna use those while we take a little break. And then we'll see you guys back in a couple minutes.
I lied awake for days, counting all the ways I died. Everything I couldn't save, buried down, still half alive. It's got me crawling in my skin, but no one's coming out to hold me close. Pouring out the gasoline, yeah, I've been making friends with all these girls, and I got nothing left to lose. Fight to the future. was not me to turn and run. Met the bitter truth and I choked it down. Left a bad taste on my tongue, but my appetite's been growing now. I can see you crawling in your skin, but no one's coming out to hold you close. I'm pouring out the gasoline, so say hello to all my ghosts.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. After a quick little break, we used the hydrates that you guys used in chat. Thank you very much for that, because I was thirsty as hell.
Man, I just drank so much water. Like it was.
Yeah, we try not to drown ourselves in the
Yeah.
process, but you know, it happens sometimes. It's a
Oh,
real thing.
right under the champ select. So Braum ban, just like first rotation. Nice.
As expected, because SlimOdds did have a little bit of a problem with the Braum pick last time around, so maybe
I mean,
we're opting into the MF again.
felt like they played right into the Braum. I mean, they didn't even ban
Mhm.
a second rotation after basically drafting a team full of.
True,
Yeah, we
true.
will run into the Braum and then we will die against him and Olaf.
And there we see the adaptation from the side of Shaka Bantu with the MF ban. As you do see the brown ban, right? So you can kind of, as we spoken about earlier, the little mind games. You can see what they're about to pick here, though. Karma again, like we mentioned last time around, is a bit could be a prio, but it's actually gonna be the Varus.
It's the Varus first pick. I mean, I would like. I cannot really say anything about that because like we basically did the same thing in our games.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, still one thing that's like completely missing here is Senna. She has neither been banned nor picked, and
Yep.
I don't know. I think it's like there are teams that have a really high priority on Senna,
Mm-hmm.
and there are teams who don't. And I don't know. I think she's like I think Senna's good. Don't get me wrong.
Yep.
Still think she's like overrated in that sense that you have to have a bot lane, like not only the AD carry but also the support has to be able to play with the Senna because there are like various options of farming or fasting Senna, and
Mm-hmm.
it gets a little bit weird down there.
Yeah. I think it's definitely not maybe your traditional ADC. And then the play style has to be perhaps learned a little bit. Like you said, with the farming, no farming. I think people usually go with farming nowadays just to make it a little bit easier and straightforward for everyone.
On the
Um,
other hand, we see a
on the other
way.
hand, I see a
There
way.
it is.
This time.
There it
It's
is, finally.
it's not bad this time, so it's gonna get instantly picked up with a blind Sinzao, which I think is also a very decent pick.
Pretty
Ooh,
standard drafting, right? Like we obviously have the way, but like
Mhm.
Varus, Karma, Vi on the one side, Jinzao on the other side, the way. Oh wait, we're gonna adapt. It's a Volibear.
I'm
The bear got
actually
buffed.
I'm actually very happy they did that because my little pet peeve of mine is B3 Vipic, because the problem with it is you basically don't see a lot of picks from the enemy draft yet, where you only have 2 picks, which could be very versatile. I like the Vi because it could provide some lockdown against the Hui, right? But into the Xin it's already not the
Yes,
best. And then if
that is true.
SlimOdds, right? And if SlimOdds opt into even more disengaged champions, then suddenly you have a Vi that's just permanently gonna have to go in when she doesn't want to.
And to be fair, SlimOdds banned Braun themselves, so like one of the defensive tools is gone. But still, yes, I think the Jinzao has a good time, like in isolation against a Vi. Like, yes, Hui can suffer, but I think it doesn't justify like this early Vi pick.
Exactly. And the Volibear could maybe, right? I'm rushing a bit here. Could be a flex towards the top lane as well. And I like that SlimOdds did a little bit of adaptation from last time around. They have some more tools on the bot lane here. They have the Ash Arrow now, right? Which could allow them for some more engages of their own. Like the Senna, there you go. As you mentioned before, it's gonna get
There's the ban.
banned away. No pivoting of Senna Ash here, but maybe some pivoting of Ash Vayne here. So Ash support has been a little bit of a
That would surprise me, honestly. Like this, interesting. So it
as well.
is a Vayne.
Yep.
A Vayne
it's,
Ash at the bot lane against Varus and Karma. I don't really know if I like that because, like, sure, like Ashe support gives you like a lot of range. You can match the Varus and Karma, but Vayne herself kind of suffers against these like long range bot lanes. Wait, but like they're completely flipping it. Nice.
They're
Okay, that
completely-
is interesting now.
Yeah.
So the
they're
Nautilus
flipping
on the support.
Which do you think that's better or worse than the Karma?
I mean, the thing is, Nautilus on support, if the jungler, like, you can even get like 2v2 kills. You're playing against an Ashe support. If she gets caught out, or like the Vayne gets caught, like the Lethality Varus with Halo Blades just does so much damage. On the other hand, it does kinda give Vayne an easier time in later fights, I think, if they get to peel against her. But yeah, still, it's interesting. It's really interesting. These two teams, they are flexing their picks left and right.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Like,
And it did seem not like the best option of having Vayne into Varus Karma, but perhaps they saw the Nautilus pick coming. They were like, oh, we're gonna adapt to that and throw in some very nice late game scaling pick. The Jace is a bit out of the wild here, because I would think that if you have two ADCs, you would like a bit more of a tankier option in the top lane. That
also, I think
provides,
this is like really cocky, isn't it?
right?
Or,
The
like
Gnar
I
into
mean,
Jace matchup seems like a very like skillful thing to do.
I mean, first of all, this. Second of all, I mean, yes, technically Jade's kind of listed as a counter of Gnar, but against the Mega Gnar and Volibear, you're just gonna get dove so easily. And even if, like, the Nautilus roams to the top side, this is not. You're not safe under your own turret as a Jace.
Yeah.
So he really has to communicate with his jungler how they're gonna play out these kind of situations if he ever gets pushed in on a stacked wave.
I think so as well. It's not the best option. But if we look at the bot lane, I think this matchup is actually a lot more playable for Ashe Vayne. Because contrary to popular belief, having perma prio against the hook champ and also just being able to play a lot more aggressive in the earlier levels allows you a lot of control over this lane. And Ashe players, as mentioned in the chat, do usually go a little bit of a barrier as well, so that's gonna make them semi-unkillable as well. So it's really dependent on jungle. If Xin Zhao decides to not give any attention to this bot lane, then it could be quite scary with a Nautilus Volibear setup. But if they simply match, I think this is, could be very beneficial for SlimOdds.
And that is another reason why I don't like this Jace, because like you have this perma-prio bot lane, which technically should, like, as you mentioned with the Barry on the Ashe, never be 2v2 kills, always having prio. But if you just, like, as a jungler, play towards your bot side so they don't get like completely run over by like a Volibear and a Karma roam, you're spending resources and you're getting a lot of out of it because you have this prio lane. And at the same time, the Jace kind of also needs these resources because, like, you will not have a easy time, like, past level 6 against Volibear and Gnar.
Exactly. So like you said, it is a bit of a cocky pick, I think so as well. The easier option would have just been, hey, let's go for some tanky top lane engage.
So basically,
champion.
Malphite. Comet Malphite
Yeah,
beats
Malphite,
Gnar,
maybe.
or like kinda
I'm
goes.
not sure
It's
actually.
kinda good against Gnar. I don't think it beats Gnar, by the way. I think a good Gnar that just like takes. I mean, he always takes fleet basically, and he just is chilling against a Malphite. But it would provide SlimOdds with engage, which I think is great against like these Karma Varus things. They have a lot of follow up to Ashe ultimates. It would, like, they have something, right?
Yeah.
Now they basically just have damage and no real way to apply it. Like the way after an Ashe arrow and Malphite ult can do so much, but now it gets really hard.
I think so as well. They're gonna have to play quite skillful and try to abuse their range very well, which is a very patient way of playing. And I'm not sure yet if that's SlimOdds style. If they're the type of players that are down to play very patient, very vision oriented, also like control oriented around how they use their abilities. Because the easier option here is just be Shaka Bantu, just throw a Gnar ultimate out, throw a Nautilus ultimate out, dive with the Volibear. It's a lot of easy setup into kills that are that's also very effective.
I mean, if I have, like, if you would ask me which comp I would rather play, I would basically always choose the blue side comp. I think it has like so many more possibilities. Like not possibilities, but like ability to snowball games, to make things happen. And like I'm gonna be honest, I don't trust SlimOdds that they can really like pull off these. Yeah, we have top end bot lane perma prio, and try to survive without having like without being ganked by Volibear and Nautilus all over the place. So it's gonna be hard. I think it's not gonna be like the playing these lanes out. It's not gonna be easy. And I do not trust this Jace pick at all. But I'm always happy to be proven wrong. Let's see it.
I think so as well. I'm down to be proven wrong as well, but I'm a bit of a realist in that sense, and I'm gonna go with Shaka Bantu to have a pretty favored draft here.
I think it's like the one thing I like about Shaka Bantu's draft is they have like so much CC, and if you have a lot of CC, it doesn't matter if you like do something. If you're a good team and you kind of fall behind in early game, you can always find ways to come back. If bot lane suddenly is losing, the Jin Zhao is going bot lane all over. It's like covering for his bot lane, and the Azure Vayne are just freely scaling, getting plates, getting prio, getting drakes. You can always send people mid lane, send people top lane, and make things happen. Sure, SlimOdds do have the ability with like the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Huey always has tricks up his sleeve, but it's getting, it's not as easy as like the Shaka Bantu comp.
Yep, I think so as well. And I do kind of expect to be this for this match to be bot side focused, as most matches are these days, because the way the meta works. But I really think that if you have the Gnar pick, it's a very nice neutralizing, safe, can play on his own and get his own like advantages. And also if we keep in mind the history of last game where they really like to play around the bot lane and play for these dragons, I think that's gonna be they're gonna do a similar style this time around. And then it's up to SlimOdds to make sure they match that, because I think as soon as they start pouring resources into the Jace pick, it's gonna go downhill a lot. And as we saw last game, they didn't really do that either when he was on the 0. So I don't expect it too much this game either. So yeah, perhaps with this dual ADC setup on the bot lane, they can actually get a lot more prio, which gives them more agency over the dragons, right? Which they really struggled taking last time.
Yes, that was the point I was about to make, because like stylistically, I felt like Shaka Bantu was this kind of team who just stacks drakes. Felt like, I mean, we have we're a really small sample size, right? But they like the drakes. This game, they're playing against Ash Vayne on the bot lane. They should not be the team who's stacking the drakes, right? I'm really interested in like what's your prediction? Who's gonna prefer the grubs? Who's gonna prefer the drake in this game?
Yep, I think actually both teams are gonna play with the Drake.
All right. So we're gonna see some early fights, 4v4 fights, maybe another Gnar roam from the top side to secure the early drakes.
Yeah, I think for SlimOdds, they should probably try to adapt and understand that Shaka Bantu is going to play hard for these objectives that they really want to get, and try to match that tempo.
no like 5-man invade this game. Last game we had both teams just running into the enemy jungle. This time it's like conservative covering, placing some wards, not risking anything. Which is interesting because like the one team does have a Nautilus. They have their tools, but still I don't think I think it's really risky to just run into Hail of Blades Ash and a Vayne with Ghost and Lethal Tempo. As we see some trading going on the top side, the Gnar is really getting chunked. And he's just dead. That's the first blood. Flash even blown for both players. That's one of the reasons why Jay is a good pick against Gnar, by the way. He just can run him down in the early stages. Did not expect this to be happening at level 1. Just a little cheese in the brush.
And like you said, you love to be proven wrong, and there is the first example, the first proof for it, as you like to say. Which is gonna set both top laners back, a flash and a TP, but 400 gold in the pocket of Jace here.
I'm gonna be honest, this makes the game much more interesting, I think. Like with this early kill on the Jace, I'm looking forward to this top lane matchup now, because what's he called? Michi... What was it? Yeah, you know? Yeah, exactly. The top laner, he played really well, I think. I think as Gnar, like he piloted this champion really well. He managed his rage, he was at the right place at the right time.
Ooh, look at Volleyball bot lane here.
Yes, he just runs behind them. And that's
Hook's gonna land.
Hook, flash hook onto the Ashe. The heal does not do anything. And it's not a barrier Ashe, by the way, it's a heal Ashe.
Rather unfortunate.
The whole movement speed does absolutely nothing for her. Volleyball gank. Does not even have to burn his flash, so he basically can just do the same thing on his next clear.
Mm-hmm. I think that was really well played, because they went for the kind of like the vertical. They invaded on the blue buff. I'm not sure. I don't remember them getting vision there, so I think it might have just been a wild walk there, but a very nice setup.
I think he went from like the mid lane side, because if I remember correctly, Vayne or like Ashe had actually placed a ward around the bot side of the river, but apparently this did not spot the Volibear invading the enemy blue buff.
Interesting. Well, I think that's a bit unfortunate, because like I said, I really wanted them play well around this bot lane, and either you're gonna
oh, that's sad.
Well, that's
Smite's going down onto like 30 HP. I did not exactly notice how much HP it was. Oh, that's sad. That's just rude, isn't it?
It's unfortunate. I think it's a small compromise for what you lost. Actually, you didn't lose anything. Never mind. As I was saying, I really like this proactiveness that the side of Shaka Bantu is doing, and SlimOdds are kind of like overwhelmed by it, right? They didn't expect. Oh, I guess perhaps Volibear started on bot side, and because I do feel like you should expect something like this, because the only way they're gonna win is if they get something crazy going with the Nautilus and the Volibear together. So either that's like a free camp on bot lane into a gank, or it's an invade of the blue buff into bot lane gank. So I do think they require some early vision, especially with the Ashe, where you can get the little hawk eyes going and spot out the enemy jungler quite early on. I think that's quite important.
I feel like it's already kind of falling apart on the bot side. The Ashe still like take a lot of oh, okay, as the grubs are getting taken, so no early Drake. Oh, wait a second. It's just starting it and running top lane. And back to starting it. And the Jin Zhao is also around, so maybe we're gonna see an early fight around the grubs.
Yeah.
As the Ashe is also moving up.
Together with the Nautilus here.
Maybe we're gonna see some early action, but The Jace is actually a lot stronger in the top side at the moment.
Does
Got
have
the
a prior,
push,
yeah.
does have the prior, but one of the grubs is already taken. So the Volibear can secure one, but don't think it's gonna be anything more.
Yep. And that's kind of the thing about grubs right now, right? You're trying to prevent the enemy team from getting 5 or 6, but it's not really an objective that's worth dying over or really fighting even. It's more sort of
There's
this
a
dance.
fight on the top side. Phase Rush is procced, but the Gnar can just jump away, does not have a TP. Jace can basically leave the lane in a frozen state, go base, or decides to push it out instead, which is also fine. Now both the junglers pathing towards the bot side, towards the Drake. Maybe we already see a little bit of another fight.
Yep. And also see, it's a lot more beneficial for the side of SlimOdds. They actually have a bit of better setup. And it's also the map, right? The map, I feel like benefits them a little bit here as well. Where they can have control over these choke points and kind of push the enemy out before they can even end.
Yes,
But
also Huey's really good at controlling these kind of entrances.
yeah, exactly. So this is already a way better start for the side of SlimOdds than last game.
A
where
way
they,
better start.
Yes, I made the joke. Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, sorry.
No problem. As we see that the benefit of the 400 gold from your Jace from the top lane kind of continue to grow actually. Like the CS lead is in his favor. And since I was gonna perhaps look for a lane gank here, but probably is trying to help push it out.
I mean, both. We have level 6 on Varus, but like Vayne's ultimate. Oh, wait, did get into the brush without being spotted. Leaps out, but maybe does Vayne have condemned? She might have been able to cancel the Nautilus, but so far no kills. Still,
Yeah.
maybe that's diveable. I mean, both sums on both the bot laners. That's a missed arrow, missed ultimate from Varus. Flash, the final hour was popped, 1 for 1 so far. But I think, auto attack the minion. Does she die? No, she does not. Okay. It was
That's not
almost a
bad.
blunder. Almost blundered the dive, but was a good. The execution was a bit off, but still. You killed both. Vayne got a double kill. That is huge.
Yeah, I think as well. I think that's a great call to kind of go for the dive there, as they already chunked the enemy out quite well. And the execution wasn't perfect, but in the end they only have to blow a flash, I believe, from the Vayne there. And I think that's a very good outcome for them.
Now they are back in the game. The Vayne is like a little bit behind in CS, but she does have the 2 kills. Does have a little bit of lifesteal against the poke. And is building towards the Blade of the Moon King, which is really strong in this game actually.
I think so as well. It's gonna help keep her somewhat healthy against the poke of Varus, right? But also against these champions like Gnar and Volibear that like to run her down. She gets a lot of more kite ability that already enables her kit even more. And from the Nautilus we see an early Frozen Heart build as well, which is of course a very smart adaptation as the enemy team mostly as auto attackers benefit from attack speed a lot. So that's a very smart decision making already.
What do you think about the mid lane matchup? Because I'm gonna be honest, I have absolutely no idea.
It looks like the biggest hard shove snooze fest there is. Because Quake kind of outranges the Karma a little bit. And Karma doesn't care about interacting either.
I mean, I feel like Karma has... Oh, there's a fight in the middle. The Nord is just going down, basically one shot. By the way, Ashe and the Jinzawe especially. As the Ashe is getting low, she does have flash. Volibear does not. She can sure bring down the Stormbringer and just jump on enemies' heads. I mean, the grubs are up.
Yep. And as we saw
So-
right there, they don't actually need a whole lot of engage. Only a Xin Zhao around to kind of apply the slow and the damage. So Nautilus that's out of position already gets caught.
As the
Karma.
Jace jumping onto the Nara. Nara does not have the Rage Bar ready. This is one grub already. He does get the transform. Now he just flashes on top of the Jace. Beautiful outplay by Mammon, by Machidako, I think. So far it's been flashes are traded all around the map. This is a W onto the Nara. He does not survive the Ash. No, it was actually the burn from the Jinzao who killed the Nara in the end. What is happening? Like they are fighting for their lives around the grubs. I was not expecting this.
Just as I mentioned, grubs is not one of those objectives you fight till the death for, but apparently some teams do think it's worth. And look how it's a 1v1 between Nar and Jace. Then
That was
there's
beautiful.
a fight on the grubs themselves where Volibear gets popped quite early on, right? Now Zinzao's kind of stuck here, so the crystal arrow gets thrown out and they kind of try to look for more, but it's not. As depth charge is kind of too far away. Then here Nar steps up a little bit too far and gets popped by the burn as well.
I mean, you could see the desperation. The Jace just wanted this last auto attack to kill the Nar. The fight would have been completely different. But a flashless Jace just gets jumped on by the Mega Nar, punched into the wall and dies. Why he's gonna be angry about this one. But now he has the Eclipse. The Jace is actually really strong. Nar is pushing on the top lane. He does not have TP currently. The Wei doesn't either.
So this is what I like, where they're starting to try and fight around these dragons a lot more and realize, hey, this might just be an important objective to kind of try and take. As Vayne is going to be alone in his bot lane here, he's not going to be able to connect with his allies on the dragon.
I think they should contest this. Zhao jumps into the backline, pops the ult, Varus just goes melee and tries to kill him. Volibear's there and they're just getting absolutely killed. That was a bit of a weird flash by the Nautilus, but you could see the idea. Now I'm wondering, where was the Jace? Why, like, the thing is, if you looked at the items, the Vayne did not have her blade off as the Jace gets jumped on. Both the jungler and him are flashing. He does get away, almost gets killed by the comet. Holy shit, that was
Wow.
close. The ult gets sidestepped, just jumped away.
Yeah,
But
I think.
to return to my point, sorry, 1 second.
Go ahead.
Look at the items. The Vayne does not have her blade finished yet, but the Varus does have his Humors. He's much stronger than the Vayne in these kind of situations. And now, like, the jump onto the Nautilus is fine, but the Jace does not have Prio. The Volibear is incredibly strong in these kind of fights. I mean, the Vayne does manage to kill the Nautilus in the end, but still not worth at all.
Yeah, I think so. I think so as well. And that's what I really like about Shaka Bantu. They're really playing for the fundamentals here, right? You want to set up your waves. You want to make sure you get prio first, then move to objective. And SlimOdds are kind of skipping that step here, where Vayne is kind of left alone in the lane and just figure out how you're going to get to the objective. And they're trying to sneak this Drake with 2 people. And then Shaka Bantu walks up with 3 people, gets the pick first, and then Vayne is in a very awkward spot where she doesn't have the item yet, and she doesn't have the kind of prowess yet to get 1 kill on her own, right? So that's not really the best setup.
Nice prediction.
Yeah, he's really good with those. Remember
Dig
last
with the
game
tumble
where he,
backwards
exactly.
or like upwards. No, Cleanse gets popped. He does a flash, pops it, goes aggressive and just dies. That was a little bit anticlimactic. I was hoping for like this huge 1v3 outplay under his own turret, but yeah, not much he could do. He
Yeah,
had the
exactly.
cleanse for the enchanted crystal arrow, but after that there was only one way, and that was in. Even if he flashed out, Shinza would have just followed up.
Exactly. And now
I
this
respect the
Vayne,
try though.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
That
Like,
was
if
an
you know-
attempt.
if you know that your allies are on the other side of the map, you might as well throw everything you got at them and see if you can get something in return. But it's always hard because they did send 4 people up to the top side, so you can kind of expect a little bit of a dive. I do believe that the knowledge was maybe not really needed either for the Herald. He could have maybe moved down a little bit quicker, but nonetheless, nice punish here by SlimOdds, and it's kind of a cross-map play, as you like to say. You take one objective for the other. Like,
Now I'm interested if this game is gonna like cool down a little bit. The Drake was oh never mind. It's still okay. Why am I even talking about anything like this, right? Jungler's already going at it again.
no, I think this is a very smart play. Like, the enchanted crystal arrow should be fired off cooldown to look for picks.
Yes, for
So
sure.
for the mid lane here, you need to step up just a little bit further, tiny bit. Oh, Vayne getting
4 people. No sums on the Varus. The TP gets channeled, but the Varus is instantly dead. But
looking for more.
the Varus, oh wow, that was really close actually. Like he flashed the Q and the turret shot in the perfect moment, basically. Or
Very
like
well
the
played.
upcoming turret shot.
Yep. That's a nice pick.
As the TP got channeled, wow, that's a lot of damage.
Oof. And they're gonna use the Herald here. Let's see if they're better drivers this time around. Yay!
So, I would have liked to say like they had an easier time, but like that's not even true, right? In the last game was basically the same scenario. Just the Herald right in front of the mid lane turret, and he somehow managed to go to Moria or something. I don't know, like where he went absolutely flying into the enemy base. But
Yes.
there's a fight around the blue buff. Wade does not have flash. The Volibear does. As the blue buff gets smitten away, I think. Smoke.
Oh.
What's the correct? Okay, flash popped by the Ashe. The fight. Volibear jumping in with the Stormbringer. But the Vayne is actually doing damage now.
They're a bit deep here. Since I was gonna fall regardless.
He does not have flash. He does not have flash. There's a little bit. Now he has flash. Now he can. That does not get popped.
And
He
he's
just
not
died.
gonna get it off.
Wow.
Like,
I was really sure he would just like flash at the end.
and that's such a shame to see, because we started with 1-0-0 and we're 19 minutes later we're at
What's happened here?
1-3-0. But in the meantime, we see why we picked Vayne, ladies and gentlemen. It's for the solo kills against the enemy ADC, because that's where that's what all ADC mains at the end of the day want. They really just want a 1v1 fight against the enemy.
Come on,
To
gonna be
show
honest.
their skill.
I think Vayne players just like pick their champion for the montage. They don't care about like the game. They would just want their the flash forward. He still does not have flash. He's dead. Wait, no, he has his Seraph's shield, and it's gonna keep him alive.
Wow.
That's a
I didn't
flash.
I didn't think that was transformed yet, but I might have missed that one. That was a miscalculation perhaps on the side of Remnant here, but nonetheless,
makes-
I
It does make me wonder, because like the weight got really low at the end, right?
Mhm.
Did
Yeah.
it transform in the middle of this
I
exchange?
might have a feeling that it could have transformed in the middle, because I feel like it should have it pops based on damage style, right? Or is it how much HP you have?
No. It pops at a certain threshold of HP you still have,
Ah, I see. Okay.
like shield bow or.
Yeah. I don't know. Interesting. It could be something to. Could be some immaculate timing there. Oh,
There's
Crystal
the
Arrow is gonna
arrow,
go- wow.
field goal. But they do get the blue buff. I think he's gonna trade this one with his life though. And this is not good. The Vayne pop the final hour, does not have any summoner spells. Takes some turret shots, but is safe in the end. I mean, is it worth? I mean,
Um,
it's a statement, isn't it? I mean, obviously, no, it's not worth, but it's a
I'm
statement.
gonna say no, yeah.
The blue buff
I
is much more important than my life, so I'm gonna run in and smite it away.
did not even was not even able to hit the ultimate either, right? So that's a bit unfortunate.
This Karma is looking strong, by the way.
I think so as well.
Look
On
at the
one
CS
item only,
difference in the
right?
middle.
Yep. It's quite humongous. Especially with the items that Karma builds, I think she's gonna be at a solid 2.5 or 3 even when Hui is still sitting on maybe 2 something is.
I mean, to be fair, the way is 2-0 and 2. He does have quite some gold, right? But still, I'm wondering, he's like down 50 CS.
Yep. Okay, let's look at the power spikes. Jace, 2 items now. Manimune is evolved, is upgraded. So I think this is the moment where he's gonna have to start showing some damage, right? It's the side lane is nice, but I don't think you have to win against this Gnar in the side lane at the moment. I want to see you group up, show up to these objectives, and start doing massive damage onto these champions like Karma, the Varus, etc. before the objective even spawns, before the fight even starts. And that's where I think its value is gonna lie a lot. Same
One
with the Vayne.
problem they still have, I mean, yes, the Vayne is really, really strong, but how does SlimOdds face check anything?
Turns out,
I mean, they do have the Jhin, for sure, and they have like the Ash E. Sometimes you can create vision, right? But still, there are 3 tanks on the other side. They have a much easier time. I think it's really, really important, like for SlimOdds, especially because they're playing Hui and Jace, to be at the objective first. They want to lay down their poke, and they do not want to face check, I think.
yep.
They want the Volibear to run into them, into the Vayne, and not be
Correct,
the one who
correct.
suddenly have to face check into a Volibear.
Ooh,
The
Chase
flash
now.
gets popped. You see, he does survive. That was a little bit of a greedy push.
Yep, I think
As
that's a
they-
very respectful flash as well.
But to be fair, the vision is... There's no vision, basically.
There's no vision, ladies and gentlemen.
He does not see anything in this top half of the map.
There's nothing in the top half, and there's one ward in the bottom half in the bush closest to the river, so we're gonna need some setup here by SlimOdds to be able to walk into these spaces, because otherwise they're just gonna be stuck on the wave, right? So let's see how they accomplish that. So,
A little
Karma
bit of
does
a jumping upwards. I love this interaction. Just like...
Karma does get the first push, and look how Shaka Bantu just moves into this river, right? The TP's being channeled already, and they're just here. They're first.
They're first. They are first. To be honest, SlimOdds do have their items. 2 items on the jungler, 2 items on the top laner, or 2.5. The Vayne, like 2.5 items, is incredibly strong.
Now the question is, are they gonna contest this or are they gonna wait? Because it is up. Jace is pushing for now still in the top lane, right? Is he gonna
feel like-
TP down? Or
I don't think he
no?
is. I think he's just gonna push for the... Oh, they engage on the mid lane. Flash backwards, and he's still dead. He still dies.
Ooh,
Vayne doesn't not have flash. She might just be... No. The heal gets popped.
He's gonna
As
tank
the
the
Nautilus flashes forward,
Oh!
that's the charge onto the... What? That's just enough. The Karma flashed forward, actually. Never mind, I did not spot that at first. And now the TP comes in. The Jace took the turret, TPs into the mid lane, and secures another kill for his team.
Are they gonna go for the Baron here or look for the mid tower? It looks
They
like
might.
they're
They
gonna
might, actually.
opt into the Baron here,
I
or
think
actually
that
look
this
for
is
a
risky.
trap.
This is really risky. I mean, I think trapping is
This
a
is
much better
really-
idea.
Yeah, I think so as
But
well. And
they read it
everything is gonna
perfectly.
go wide.
The Jhin Zhao jumps. No, wait. The Volibear just jumps
Big
on
Gnar.
the Big Gnar ulti just flashes in. This might be some kills. The Eclipse gets popped, but it's not enough. Karma is doing work, by the way. Karma and Gnar did so much in this little exchange.
Yeah, I think so as well. It was really well played. And let's look at this Dragonfly once again. The crystal arrow hits the Varus, but the Glenn's gonna come out, so he flashes out. But Vayne is gonna flash after him to secure that. Is almost gonna get hit by the hook here, but Nalus who's gonna get tanked up. But in the meantime, we have another
Fight already. Wait, it's a shutdown. The Vayne, the Karma got caught. How did this happen? And now the Vayne just does what she wants. Sadly misses the condemn against the wall, but it does not matter. She popped her ghost. She popped her final hour and just runs them down. 9 and 2, 200 CS. This Vayne is strong.
Exactly, and this is one of those disadvantages you have when you only have the Karma and the Varus around. Then your Nalus is basically the only lockdown against this Vayne, which is, to be honest, very easily kind of dodgeable, right? Because it's only the depth charge that's really scary, and the hook you can kind of just combo away from. So at that point, he's just hard running these champions down, especially with the items that he has right now. He's just, I feel like, a lot more ahead than his opponents, a lot stronger.
By the way, if you would have asked me like 5 minutes ago, I would have not predicted them just like threatening Baron 2 times in a row and getting it on the second time. I felt like Shaka Bantu really were in control up until this point.
Yeah. I think so as well. But it seems like they're kind of just... I'm not sure, it seems like they're getting caught a little bit here left and right, and especially the Varus seems to not be always respecting some of the damage of the opponent. And then Xin Zhao kind of gets a grab, like a nice little jump on them, right? Because if we see where most of these deaths are, it's 11 on the bot laners. So that kind of tells the story of this game where it's mostly Varus and Nalus getting caught somewhere and then getting turned into an easy kill. Because the thing with Shaka Bantu...
Crystal arrow, nice, okay.
Do a little bit of damage, deny 1 million as well.
Do you think he just wanted to threaten the cleanse? He just wanted to bait out the cleanse because he thinks there are more people coming?
I think so as well. And like we said, you just want to use the cooldown. Like,
oh, that is mean. Oh, he gets spotted.
He's gonna knock out.
Volibear does have flash and R, so I think he's really safe. But Mega Gnar is around, so this is really dangerous. It's a really dangerous position for SlimOdds actually. By the way, the Jace has 3 items.
Finally, we're gonna get some damage in these team fights. We're not only gonna split push anymore.
I mean, he is split
Never
pushing
mind,
at the moment.
I take my word back.
It's gonna stay top for the whole game, I think.
I think you're just gonna want to use these crystal arrows on cooldown. Like, it's already up again. It's such a low cooldown, and then like you said, you just bait the cleanse, or you can deny a couple minions, or you can just
honestly,
get into the head of your opponents, right?
Honestly, an enchanted crystal arrow onto the Nautilus with a Jace and way around might just... What is happening?
Oh,
he's ulting bot lane
here. It's gonna...
He does not hit it, sadly.
Ooh.
He just R's him a go and runs. Wait, but now the Gnar... I mean, he does get a bit of movement speed when he transforms back, but still, this is a bad position.
Where are we going here?
Alpha's done. He does not have his R again, and he's just dead. It's a shutdown for the Jace.
Big shutdown as well. 550 gold. If I was not mistaken. So, next up, right? Next objective. This dragon is up in 20 seconds. Baron has already been taken, so it should be easy for SlimOdds to get the priority here on all the lanes, especially with Gnar dead now. And it does seem like they're going to be first onto this, and Karma is already in the top lane trying to push that wave kind of in a sort of counter measure. So it should be, yeah, it should be preventing the soul here.
I mean, the Jace did not base after he got the shutdown, but like I don't think they have any position, so they just take the Drake. I would have wished if they'd done a little bit more with their Baron, but to be fair, they are like in complete control of the game right now. Don't you feel like a 5k gold lead? They prevented the soul, and the Jace getting caught. The Gnar does not have his transform. The TP is being channeled. Now the Xin Zhao has a problem. Gnar is gonna transform soon, and the Jace should get the hell out of there. They're actually turning it. Why?
Yeah,
they're just gonna get killed both, I think. Volibear jumps off the wall, does have the glacial slow. They're gonna trade a mid lane turret, but that's just not worth.
Well, you could think about it this way. Are there any objectives up? Not really. I mean, we can see towers as objectives, right? So technically, they got an objective and they traded 2 kills for it.
I
Maybe
mean,
it's worth, maybe it's
yeah,
not.
for
I'm not
sure.
sure,
Like
right? I'm
the
not sure.
objective to win the game is the Nexus. You get to the Nexus by killing turrets, so it was definitely worth if you look at it from that
But
perspective.
if we calculate in the aftermath is it's actually 2 turrets for 1. So
Yes,
that's the little downside of my calculation that I did there, but
and the gold lead shrunk by a lot, actually.
by a lot indeed. So we're talking about this control.
Yeah, no, there's none. It's gone. It's gone.
Completely over.
Shaka Bantu basically has control and vision around the whole map, except basically for the top side jungle. Even
I am
even there they have a ward, like around the wraiths.
recognizing a little pattern though. I feel like if they keep playing around this vein, then things are gonna go right. But perhaps if they start playing around the chase, it's gonna go less right. You know what I mean?
But when do you think will the Jace play around the team?
I think it's fine to go split push. At this point, it's a player decision, right? I don't mind either way. It is there are both options, and it's something you can play around. That's what I often think in these kind of. Oh, did Ash get that? No, never mind. I think that's often like something you can think about in these team environments. If you can play around it, you can make it work.
That is true. Although I think like the Jace has 5 items.
Yeah.
I think he's incredibly strong at this point of the game.
I
Even
think
if the enemy are like really beefy, have a lot of tanky champions, but the Vayne can take care of that. If he stays with the team, I think they have like a really good chance in winning fights. But at the same time, yes, he does beat the Gnar in this split push situation. So I understand why he's like. I mean, he got to this point by doing a lot of split push and gaining a lot of gold, right?
Yeah.
But still, oh, as
gonna
I'm
get caught out
speaking,
here, the Vayne.
the Vayne is getting caught. Flash and Ghost popped, jumping out, and this is like basically a Vayne flash for a Volibear flash, which is not really what you like to see as the Vayne. But also the Volibear flash is really important.
Ooh.
Wow, that was a shock blast. That is a lot of damage. Do they just engage? The Vayne is not here. It's a 5v4. The Jace just gets popped. Xin Zhao is alive, does pop the Sterix. Wow, that's a lot of damage by the way. And actually they have a fighting chance. If the Vayne gets back to their team, they can do some damage, but nothing more happening as of right now.
Yeah, I think that looks a little bit illegal when SlimOdds started walking up in the mid lane when their team of one of their team members just got chunked very hard and at the back. So that seemed a bit greedy, but nonetheless, it does seem like they have the damage to kind of make these moves, right? If we're looking at the Hui damage, we're looking at the Jace damage, it really starts adding up this time around. You just gotta start hitting a lot more of them, and then Shaka Bantu might be in real trouble.
I'm really scared of what's gonna happen when the wave finishes his Rabadons. But we've also seen that like many players are like the Jace, the Wei and the Vayne can do so much work in this team fight if they get to hit. And they just need space and like opportunities. Maybe if the Xin Zhao finds the space, they can actually fight this Drake.
Yeah,
They do not have the position,
they don't, and I
but
think
maybe they still can make it work.
watch the Gnar bar, it's full. They're playing around these chokes.
Really good Ash, Varus by the way.
It doesn't seem like they're gonna be able to.
Oh, that's the soul. Maybe they can win the fight, but look at what Varus is doing. That's a 3-man Gnar into the wall. Death charge onto the Vayne. I think this is lights out for the red side of his team.
Wait, Vayne is still alive?
Vayne is kiting. The montage is being channeled as I speak, but she just gets shut down by the bear.
Maybe Jace can
And that's
do
a triple kill. And
not
an
enough.
ace for Shaka Bantu.
What a shame. It looked so well set up so far, but like the way they
Look at the Varus
approach
ult.
these, yeah,
Still
it's
proccing onto the
huge.
backline. The Ashe gets hit.
Exactly. And then the Gnar jumping in over the wall right after objective is taken, getting a 3-man Gnar once again. So Hui is almost instantly dead. And then you're looking at the Vayne. Maybe she can save this fight, but one final auto from the Volibear is enough to secure this as well. And it's just such a shame, right? Because if they maybe approach this fight from the mid lane, they could have perhaps played with a lot more space, which is kind of advantageous for them, right? And instead they were kind of forced into these chokes that Shaka really wants to play in and is a lot stronger.
Still, after all their efforts, it's a 2-0 with a much
Indeed.
closer second game.
Indeed,
First
indeed.
one just fell apart at some point. The second one really was a fight.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a 2-0. So yeah, well, you could go ahead and say GG easy, right? But like the second game, I feel like even if like their little bit unfortunate situation of having to field an emergency sub, I think SlimOdds can take away a lot of this game, especially the second. And on the other side, Shaka Bantu, well, they had a really clean first game. Had a little bit of too much fun in the second, I feel like. Played a little bit cocky, especially against the Vayne. But still, clean game. They, or like not clean, but they made it work in the end.
Yeah.
And just like that, that was it.
I think, yeah, that was, I mean, like you said, with a sub-top laner, I think they showed some very decent qualities and they can definitely, they definitely have a decent chance at winning some of these games. And I also like the way Shaka Bantu played. Very fundamental, and they have some decent champions lined up as well. So I think if they keep walking down the same line of, yeah, they can really get somewhere. Could be a team to look out for. Who knows?
So now, who would you vote as your MVP of the series?
Ah, it's for sure. It's for sure, Mitchie.
All right, okay.
I think
I
on this
think the
NAR,
Gnar was really strong, yes.
yeah, I think game one on the NAR performance that roam down to bot lane to get these dragons and get this team ahead, I think is very important. And game two, he kind of does more of the same, where in these team fights he just shows up very big and he looks at the position of the enemy team and is able to punish that a lot, which I think is very important.
So one thing, I'm gonna have to like shout out the Karma. I think the mid laner, Shaka Bantu, played incredibly solid. I he didn't like as he played Karma, so you're not gonna do some flash over the wall, triple Gnar ultimate into the wall, whatever. But I think he played incredibly solid. Had was up in CS for the second in the second game by like 50 CS and just had so much pressure. Also on the side lane, we saw like the Wei being on the bot side and constantly being pushed in by the Karma, who threatened the turret. That would be my shout out in the end. I think the MVP, yes, it really should be Nara. He had some like key moments where he turned the whole game in his favor or in his team's favor. But shout out to the mid laner of Shaka Bantu, was a rock solid player in this game.
I think so as well. All right. Perhaps the chat has some other interesting opinions about that, but at least that's our opinions from the caster desk here. Some final notions you wanna put out there to the world?
Yeah, just a personal notion, I think. I've had a lot of fun. It was my first cast in English. I hope you guys did not notice too hard that it was my first English cast, like in particular. But a lot of fun. Always happy to do it again. It was an absolute blast. Even if I think we're both a little bit tired this evening after this whole day of like for me playing. I don't know what you had to do for today, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. Um, I hope you also had a little bit of fun, even if you were tired. But yeah, and obviously,
Uh-huh.
thanks a lot to our spectator and the production made things really easy for us.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. It's the first week, so we'll see how teams end up after these after tomorrow's matches as well. Because guys, there are more matches tomorrow. It's a bit of a so-called super weekend, as we like to say. So there's gonna be more matches probably streamed here by community or the SLE somewhere tomorrow. So keep an eye out on that, and the scores will be updated shortly as well. Very well. Um, that was it for me. Thank you guys for
Well,
watching. I was Flay,
I'm Shorty23.
and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Good evening.